Okay, I honestly don't even know where to start. Wow. Okay, let's just start by saying hi. It's been a while. I think the last time I posted a video was when I posted a 5-week update, and that was so long ago. That was the beginning of my pregnancy, and I am currently in my second trimester, and I have not done an update since. So I wanted to do one today, and I wanted to do one primarily because I had a doctor's appointment today. Baby appointment is what I call them. And it honestly it wasn't good. It wasn't a good appointment. And I'm just being super realistic. Like, this wasn't news that I wanted. I did expect some of it, but I didn't expect other things that I was told. So I'm really gonna try to get through this without crying. One, because I'm pregnant and emotional, and two, I'm already just an emotional person as is. So this is just gonna be really hard. So I think I'm gonna just start with why I haven't been posting, even though I did want to do updates and all of that stuff. I really did. But this pregnancy just didn't have it in the cards for me. So around 7 weeks, I'm gonna start there. I started having intense cramping, very intense, like floor dropping, very painful. And if you know anything about my channel and you followed me from the way beginning, I had a miscarriage a year ago, and it was really traumatic. It was really emotional for me. So having that go on, and it was just so weird and unexplainable and so random, and it happened for so long, I was worried. 7 weeks, you just don't really know what's going on, and you wonder why, where is this pain coming from? Why is it happening? I didn't know, my doctor didn't know. So eventually it got to a point where I had to go to the hospital because I'm just like, what is going on? I'm having all this cramping. So I went to one hospital, and I want to say when I finally went to a hospital, it was maybe around 8-ish or 9 weeks, somewhere around there. And the first hospital I went to my local hospital, which is literally 2 minutes away from me. If you're from Washington and you're familiar with the Federal Way area, St. Francis is not a very good hospital to go to, but it's there. It's close, it's there, and that's where I went. And they gave me an ultrasound. They said baby looked great. There was a heartbeat. Everything was fine. They just missed the whole telling me that I had cysts, which my midwife did explain to me are normal during pregnancy. But they also missed telling me that I had, or have, I don't know if it's still there, a hemorrhage on my placenta next to the baby at the time. And I was really shocked because about a week or two later, I ended up back at the hospital for the same reason, but I ended up having some bleeding, so obviously I was concerned. And they still managed to not tell me that that was what was going on. So in my experience, I was like, okay, what the heck? Everything's fine. What's going on? I just had a feeling I should have just went to a different hospital. So when another week or two went by, I ended up going to a different hospital, which I've already had experience at, being in preterm labor with my son. I went to this hospital for 3 days, and they were great. They were amazing. They were super quick to get me in, and they were really like hands-on. They were really good at like communicating and letting you know like exactly what they were doing. The lady came in to do an ultrasound. She did what she had to do. The doctor came in, he sat down, and he let me know like there was 2 cysts on my right ovary, and there was a hemorrhage on my placenta. And he did inform me that that could cause some cramping and bleeding, and to just be aware that sometimes these hemorrhages could either clear themselves up or they could get worse and affect the pregnancy. Took it with a freaking grain of salt, honestly. Like, I didn't know what else to do. I became emotional after that. I was just like, is this why I'm in pain? Is this why I'm spotting? Is this why all of this is going on? And it just kind of cleared up on its own after that for a couple of weeks, and then it happened again. This time it was like, I really apologize if you see me shaking. My tripod is in the car, so I'm using my hand. I'm just holding it. So I ended up back at the hospital again, and this was around, I think, I want to say like 11 weeks. Cramping, bleeding, just super random things. And still, everything looked fine. Everything was okay with the baby. Everything was okay with me. They just said, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we can't get you in for an x-ray. We don't want to expose you to radiation. All this stuff, you know, they were like, we can't do that. We don't know if the bleeding's not coming from your placenta. If it's not coming from the pregnancy, you should be fine. Then I'm trying to like remember because it's been a while. 18 weeks and like 2-3 days. And I just went to the hospital at 16 weeks. I will show you guys a picture of the baby. I'll insert it here. The ultrasound tech, he was so great, and he gave me a picture of the baby, and I was so in love. It was so cute. But they did inform me that everything was great, and this time that I went to the hospital, I woke up, went to the bathroom, and there was bright red. And when I say bright red, it was like the color of my sweater. It was bright red bleeding. I was instantly concerned. I was bawling my eyes out, and I was just like, something's not right. So I went to the hospital, and again, they tell me everything's fine. Baby looks great. Baby's heart's good, everything. So I have a lot of unexplained answers onto what's really going on. But besides that, I've had a lot of preterm contractions. At first, my midwife didn't want to call them contractions because they were happening so early, before 10 weeks. So she was just like, oh, they're just, you know, like your what is it, your uterus or something, it's just getting ready for a baby. It's just doing all that. And I was like, okay, like, I believe you. And then, like, around the time where you're supposed to be getting, like, Braxton Hicks or whatever, I want to say I started having some contractions around 12 weeks. And that's just, like, a whole different thing from Braxton Hicks. Like, these are actually painful when I get them, and then Braxton Hicks are just uncomfortable. So the Braxton Hicks are just really uncomfortable, and like, I just feel a lot of tightening. But when I have actual like contractions, it's painful. It feels like actual cramping. I have it both front and back, it's like you know that those are contractions. And it's so worrisome because you don't know if it's causing you to thin out or dilate or any of that sort of thing, because it's too early to check for that stuff, and they don't want to check and then, start something, which is understandable. So what I explained with the random cramping and bleeding and the early contracting, I have also, these are like really emotional topics for me, so I really hope you guys can like bear with me. Since I was about like 16, I've had some on and off like eating issues, which I'm not going to get into depth about. That's like really personal and it doesn't affect me as a mother or anything. So I would really appreciate if you guys don't comment on that. But it just has affected me a lot in pregnancy, especially with my son. Not only was I super, super sick with Mateo, I was just struggling to get any food down, not because I was just sick, it was also because I was struggling with what I struggle with, on top of just being extremely sick. So it was just those two, they don't go together. And I only gained 9 pounds my whole pregnancy with my son. So when you're not gaining weight while you're pregnant, it makes you high risk. And I have already been high risk both pregnancies. So that just makes everything more complicated this time around. So I feel like I've caught you guys up as much as I can, like as much as I can remember. Because in between all of that, I've just been going through lots and lots and lots of personal things. I have been going through my pregnancy alone. I have been emotionally alone, physically alone. I do have wonderful family members who have been there for me as much as they can be, and I am so grateful for them. But anybody who's anybody knows, like, being a mom is completely and utterly hard. Like, regardless if you're a working mom or a single working mom or a single stay-at-home mom, being a mom in general is just hard. So with me having this high risk, super emotional pregnancy on top of running around with 2 toddlers all day, with everything else going on in my life, it's just been a very, very unenjoyable pregnancy. And that's being real. That's being very realistic for me, because I haven't been able to enjoy it. And with today, I've caught you up till today. My appointment did not go the way I wanted it to. At my last appointment previous from today, I was up on weight, and then I ended up losing all of it, and I'm a pound heavier than my pre-pregnancy weight. And my midwife's just really concerned. She doesn't think that things are gonna, clear up anytime soon. I have legitimately like a week to gain some weight, and I've been trying my real hardest like to gain weight. I'm eating 3 times a day plus snacking in between, or snacking whenever I'm hungry, and I'm not sick. I'm not nauseous this pregnancy. I'm tired, but recently I've gotten some energy back. So, like, I've just, been trying to give this pregnancy my all and try to at least enjoy some of it regardless of what's been going on. And that's like such a downer to hear. Not only that, but I have a history of preterm labor. I had my son at 35 weeks, and she just doesn't think that with the way that my pregnancy's going, I'm gonna make it to then. She doesn't think I'm gonna make it to 35 weeks. She's very concerned for my pregnancy. She's concerned for me. And she also made it a point that I think it's your uterus that they measure. I've been pregnant 3 freaking times and I don't even remember. Where she's like feeling on your belly and stuff to see how like you're measuring. I'm measuring 2 weeks behind, so I'm measuring at about 16 weeks, she said. And she said that's kind of concerning as well. So when I go to my anatomy scan next week, they're gonna let me know if baby is measuring behind or is abnormally too small. And something else that's like pretty emotional for me is the fact that she said that she might not be able to treat me after my anatomy scan. After that, her and the doctor who does my anatomy scan is going to, they're going to consult together and they're going to see if what's best for me is to transfer care to a different hospital where they're like more trained to deal with my case and premature labor and delivery, which she thinks is going to happen. And that's pretty emotional for me because I saw her my whole pregnancy with my son, and then she knows all my, medical history. And nobody really kind of wants to, find a new doctor and have to explain it all and then get comfortable. Like, that takes so much time, and she even delivered my son, She got me through it, and I'm so grateful for her, and I love her, and she's great. She's really, like, comforting, more like, not even like a doctor. She's, like, motherly, and I love it, and just, like, I don't want to have to give that up. And that, for me, sounds a little selfish because I do want what's best for the baby. I want the baby to be healthy, and I want to be able to get to a viable state in this pregnancy and be able to have a healthy baby and everything. It's just, I'm beating myself up a lot for what's going on in my pregnancy. I don't know why, like, with both my kids, I went into preterm labor at 30 weeks. Luckily, with my daughter, I made it to 38. And then my son just came early, and now they think that this one's going to come even earlier. I'm beating myself up a lot about it, and it's really hard for me to want to, like, pick up the camera and make videos, and I'm trying to take it easy as much as I can, but it's, you got a house to clean and you got kids to take care of, you got to do all those things on top of taking care of yourself, and lately it's been kind of hard. So just with this pregnancy and only having about a week to just figure it all out and try to get up in some type of weight and pray that the baby is growing on time and everything, it's very, very overwhelming for me right now. Just the thought of having a smaller baby than my son. My son was already 5 pounds. He was extremely tiny, so just the thought of having anything smaller than that is, I don't know how I would take it emotionally or physically, honestly. I don't know how that really goes. Also, like, I haven't been taking any pictures or anything this pregnancy, so if you do follow me on Instagram, my Instagram, which I'll link right here, I really don't post anything besides, like, little screenshots of my app because there's no belly to show. My doctor was like, wow, you're not showing and you should be, or at least a little bit, but there's not much to it. I like occasionally look bloated and like I look more pregnant when I eat than I do during the day. It's weird, but technically I'm not even showing, but I do feel lots and lots of baby kicks, and I feel lots and lots of movement, and I'm really grateful for that. It's a good sign that baby's okay. So I'm happy. I'm happy that right now everything is okay. Baby's heart was good today. Baby's heart was at like 168, she said. And I find out what the baby's gonna be on the 7th of December. I just really wanted to update you guys and give you a rundown of, you know, how emotionally overwhelming this pregnancy's been, and just to explain to you guys like why I haven't been on YouTube, why I haven't been doing any pregnancy updates like I want to. Quick little explanation of what's going on and where I'm at right now. It's all gonna be worth it. I know that. At the end of this, it's all going to be worth it, no matter how many struggles I go through, no matter how hard or how easy the pregnancy is. The little one at the end is going to be worth it. And I hope you guys stick with me so you guys can meet baby and we can continue our journey. But other than that, that's really all I wanted to update you guys with. And if anybody has like any questions, feel free to comment or message me on Instagram. Like I said, I'll link my Instagram right here, and I'll link it in the bio below or the description. And I really hope that I can give you guys more updates soon, because I have been feeling a little more better. I'm just gonna try my hardest not to let this like bad news, you know, get to me, and enjoy whatever time I have left of being pregnant. And hopefully I can bring you guys along with me, but just please bear with me if I'm not posting. It's just a very hard time, and pray for baby. And we will see you guys in the next video.